for this
Independence Day!
Independence Day average rants here at KNMC 90.1 FM.
I hope this is working. Oh, it's throttled.
Just a pre-warning, Derek has had a few
So have you
to celebrate.
Canada Day, right?
Canada Day was on the 1st, but I don't think any of the listeners are going to care
Hey,
about my holiday.
Canada Day, Independence Day. By the way, that was not an adult beverage cracking. That was.
I would just like to point out you did say a lot of A's. Well, you said all that.
That's because Canada spells everything with an A.
But you're like Canada Day.
You do know how they came up with the spelling of Canada, right? Why don't we try a C, eh? How about a D, eh? Oh.
Well, in truth, Canada
Canada
means village.
Does it?
Yeah, in the native language that was spoken down the St. Lawrence.
Hey, I'm just saying. That's what I heard.
Just a little nitbit
Right.
because I didn't get to do the radio on my holiday. But Canada.
You could have come up into the radio on your holiday. Don't blame me.
Is the word for village.
Very nice.
Well,
Let's do some announcements. What do you got? What do you got? You got nothing?
there's like nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, here's an announcement. It is July 4th.
People are
Go
blowing,
see some fireworks,
right?
even if they are in your front lawn, because that's what happened until 12:30 last night at my house.
Yep.
Which,
Your wife was really happy about it. I saw her post this morning.
well, I mean, in Canada we have fireworks and stuff like that, but not the crazy ones that you guys are allowed to buy. If you want the crazy ones, you have to be like
Licensed.
a firefighter that's lighting them off for the city or something. So last night was a little. Well, I mean, I think she got a little upset because she thought it was 11 that the cutoff would be for them, but then she found it was midnight. But then at midnight, it kept going.
It trickled over.
And I get it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough when you want to sleep and she has trouble sleeping, and then it sounds like there's bombs because they were right next door. There were like bombs going off inside her house.
Some people really get excited. Just wait till tonight. If you thought last night was bad.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why we're at your place with our dogs. So that
You ain't gonna be at my house at midnight.
well, your wife was talking about how there's an extra bed downstairs.
Or sleepover. Oh yeah.
No. I like being patriotic and stuff, but sometimes there's just too much fireworks.
Well, I got nothing against the fireworks. Just everybody be careful. Make sure you got lots of water because we are been 6th day of 100 degrees.
Yeah, no
So,
way.
and we don't want to start any fires. We've had that before, and that's pretty rough. But
And it is another thing that I'm like afraid of too, because like there were some, and I saw them. They launched them because I think my wife went and yelled at them, so they were trying to piss her off more. So they launched them like on the top of our house, and I was like, Jesus, my insurance is going to give me more money than this house is worth.
But other than that, sit down, have a few adult beverages, barbecue, enjoy the day.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
That's exactly what we've been doing. Went for a hike this morning. It's a little warm.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. I felt like a long hike this morning. And you had like an extra 80 pounds on your back.
Yeah, that kid's getting pretty heavy. I don't know how my wife carried him for 9 months. I don't think he's lost
Yeah,
much weight since.
he's only gained like what, 10 pounds or something since he was born. He's a big kid.
He's huge. Oh man.
Oh man, I should.
So what are you going to talk about today? It's hot. It's been hot. Can't rant about the heat though.
Well, everybody loves hearing about the weather.
I know. Let's talk about the weather for the next 45 minutes. We have 3 viewers down to. No. Okay.
No, ranted a little bit about fireworks.
What do you guys do in Canada on Canada Day?
Kind of the same things you guys do, just without the fireworks. It's just like gathering.
You guys just go like do your barbecue during the day, and then at night you guys go to whoever puts off the big display.
Well, the cities. Every city usually has like its own big event.
Did you? It was like 5 or 6 years ago. There was a fireworks display in San Diego, and a dude hit the wrong button. It was the fire all button. So instead of the firework display lasting an hour and a half, it was over in about 49 seconds.
Can you imagine?
It was a lot. It was
Probably
pretty cool.
Shattered glass.
Oh man.
With the booms that would have happened at the same time. Well, there
Yep.
was you heard about that police officer? Like the police confiscated, I guess, some illegal fireworks. I can't remember where it was. My wife was telling me about it. And so the police decided to invite media and people to come watch them set off all the fireworks, like to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And they set them off in a van, and it triggered a massive explosion and blew the van up
Nice.
and injured 11 of the police officers over here.
We may have a small addiction to things that explode.
Well, and apparently they did it in a residential area too, so there was injuries and people in their homes, and I was like, wow, like that seems like something you do in like a field.
I'm just saying, we golf with a guy who loves fireworks, Mr. Scott. He loves his fireworks. Oh man, they put on a great display every year.
It was the LAPD that did this.
Mm.
That did the fireworks display.
Well, they're not pyrotechnicians, all right? So
No, and I mean, I think they were just trying to get a little bit of community involvement and getting people together. And I mean, that's what I like about fireworks, at least down here, is I don't really like it in the sense of like a family can set off a whole barrage in their backyard, but I do like it when you can tell that there's been a whole bunch of people that gather to then do something.
well, it's got to feel nice because last year we couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're home alone shooting off fireworks, go to the fireworks show tonight. Be around people, because we can.
Right? Stay 6 feet, but you can still be around people.
Yeah, who knows when that's going to change. And I mean, I'm going to be honest. If you didn't get your vaccine and you don't want to get it, I don't care. Go out and see it. I got mine. Doesn't affect me any.
I just wish that I got in. Like, did you see that certain places were putting in like you could get entered into drawings for every time you were
Yeah.
From like a
million.
like there was a place in like it was like I can't remember what it was, like Missouri or somewhere. It was southern states. You got like entered into $1 million lotto drawing if you got your vaccine. So if you went and got the Moderna one, which was 2 shots, you got entered twice.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go get the single shot. Like, no, I want in there twice.
Well, I mean, like we were talking about today, they've actually found that the Moderna one has had positive effects on people with like cancer and diabetes.
And they're finding that you may only need the vaccine once. It's proving to last a lot longer than they thought it would.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's like what's triggering the other stuff. Like, well, you said that was it your wife's uncle or
Oh, her dad.
her dad has been showing good signs with his cancer after he got his.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm not like anything to chance something like that is worth doing it.
There's a 5%. Do it. Sign me up.
Yep.
What are the downsides? Not really any. Oh, do it. I'm good. I was gonna say the 1 or 2 days of the sore arm kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty brutal, but you get over it.
It sucked, but I enjoyed wanting to sleep.
Well, the worst part is, it's like my son would walk up to me, and he's he likes to play, but he never hits me. That day, he just felt the need to punch me in the arm, like he knew.
He's like, Dad, I know you're not feeling good. Let's play.
And I'm just gonna sock you in the arm. Oh, so while you guys are out sitting around barbecuing today, enjoying, we're gonna have some. What are we gonna do? Some 4th of July party in the USA. I like that one. Let's do it.
Start with some Miley Cyrus because our wives were talking about that.
Right? Why not? And for those of you on YouTube, you're just gonna have to go search that video.
Just make sure this is playing. I don't even know.
Well, you could turn it on. I never wear the headphones.
You never wear the headphones.
Okay, I can hear it.
I'm gonna think of another song after this though.
Baby, you're a firework.
Oh,
Is that Katy Perry?
yeah.
I'm so sad that I know that. Wow. So Oh, I know. I only found a story. So I think we can talk about it a little bit.
A story.
Story. I should.
Oh, my candy fell on the floor.
I should wait till we come back live on the radio, but you know what? I don't want to because I may throw some cuss words out here. You've all heard about? I'd imagine if you guys have any, have looked at the news at all, that Olympic runner. I'm going to try and pronounce her name, and I'm probably going to butcher it. I think it's Sha'Carri Richardson. She's an Olympian who was banned from the Olympics for 5 years because she tested positive for cannabis. I can't tell you how much this infuriates me that majors, pro sports, and these majors crack down on people who do cannabis. First of all, it doesn't enhance anything physical.
Whoa. I can eat way more than I normally can.
Okay, it enhances your belly.
Do you know how much weight I gained if I smoke weed? Look how much I eat now.
I know. That poor candy bag is going to be in rough shape. But the best part is, and the only reason not the only reason I bring it up, but I did find a story where Seth Rogen, the actor, he said, if weed made you fast, I'd be FloJo. Because we all know that Seth Rogen likes to partake in.
No.
I mean, he's only made like 9 movies about it. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what's the big deal? I know growing up as a kid, I don't know if you had it up in Canada, but when I was a kid, they always said that marijuana was the gateway drug.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't hear that anymore because I'm pretty sure they proved themselves wrong.
Well, I think they meant the gateway to the fridge. Like, have you ever been stoned and opened up a fridge?
Oh.
It's like hitting heaven.
Yeah. And I already said it. They're like, well, there's no way to test for a guy who's been drinking and smoking weed. I'm like, yes, there is. Hold up a bottle of Mountain Dew and a Snicker bar and just wait a second.
Have you seen that? There's a video where it's like a cop comes up to a guy and he thinks he's speeding. He's really been driving like 2. And he comes up and the cop's like, smells like you've been smoking some marijuana. And he's like, no, officer, no, I haven't. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I believe you. Just gonna put this right here, and he puts like a candy bar. And then he keeps.
You get the guy with the slow head turn.
Well, he keeps looking at the guy and being like, "Sir, can you focus, please?" Because you see the guy slowly start looking towards the candy bar as he's trying to talk to the guy.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I could just see it. He's like, yeah, and then if he pulled up the Mountain Dew bottle, oh.
I wonder how they tested. While she was doing a preliminary run, they put up a taco stand on the other side.
Oh, dude, if they had taco trucks in this town, I'd be so fat.
But she was like, and then ran that way.
I've been to places that had taco trucks. Man, they're amazing. Love me some taco trucks. And I would definitely download the app that told you where the taco truck. I mean, it's not hard to find in this town, but
taco truck has moved 1 block away. 1 block away, guys.
You guys may like ice cream trucks, taco trucks. Oh gosh, love me a taco truck. So good.
Wish we could drink here.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like we could have. I just didn't want to get in trouble.
Well, then people wouldn't get to hear our amazing radio show every week if we did get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You guys wouldn't rat us out, would you? They totally would.
The reviewer, yeah.
Oh.
They would. Then they they blackmail us into talking their political jargon.
Right. Last week I was talking about people and their dogs, and they take them out and they leave. Well, a friend of mine posted a story about how a guy busted a window out of her car. He found a dog that was almost dead. He busted the window out with an axe, and the lady came out from the grocery store. And the guy asked her, like, would you lock your kid for 45 minutes in your car when it's 90 degrees outside? Well, no. Why do it to your dog?
Right?
Like, I cracked the window. It's still an oven. You can leave
turn your oven on to 200 and then crack it a little bit. See how you feel in that kitchen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, unless you got the AC running full and going, and yeah, I just don't take
when Sammy and I were traveling.
I don't take my dogs places though. So
well, we took Zelda to Canada a couple times, and what we would do is if we went to get some food and she couldn't come in, we would put the car so we could see it, and we'd have it running because it was the key one, so it'd sit near the window, so it would act like we were still there.
Yeah,
and then. Like every 5 minutes, we were running out.
Well, it's like it was hilarious when we were in Great Falls a couple weeks ago. You guys sent me in to get towels. I forgot I had the keys in my pocket to my car. And my car stopped working while my wife was driving, and apparently she lost it a little bit.
This is a little bit. This was Amanda.
Well, I can imagine like freaking out. I would start freaking out too. Like,
yeah, but no, she was like, I'm going to stop in the middle of the road. What is he thinking? Oh my goodness. And we're like, just go park. You can still move. We're still moving. Go park. She's like, but it's going to stall.
Did it ever stall?
No.
Oh, see, I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know what happens.
It's supposed to, but I don't think we got far enough away before we hit park.
That always makes me feel good. So if I leave my car running because I have the AC on and I don't want to jump into a car, if somebody steal it, they get a block.
Yeah. Get a block.
Car would die.
You'd be like, where's my car?
Got
all right.
Did I play both songs already?
Yeah, they're not that long. That was Katy Perry. Firework. Firework. That's why they pay me the big money.
We don't get paid for this.
Oh. Well, maybe you don't.
Oh, man. Stanley Cup, 3-0 Lightning.
Yeah, everyone saw that coming.
Yeah. You think the Canadians got one in them?
No.
Nope.
I don't like them.
I got to say, though, when we watched the game the other night, that sign that said, thank you, Carey Price, for carrying us through the playoffs. I just giggled because I've been saying it the whole playoff system. I was like, Carey Price is carrying that whole team. It was just funny. I liked it. I thought it was pretty hilarious. Yep. What do we got? How about some Independence Day facts? Can we find a fact about Independence Day?
Well, that would be on you.
That would be on me. What do we got? Did you know that despite conspiracy theories in movies, there isn't a secret code on them or map on the back of the Declaration of Independence? I just don't want to go see it anymore.
So there isn't a map on the back?
Nope.
And who told us this?
Nicolas Cage. Hello?
Yeah, but he told us that there was a map.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so who told us that there isn't one?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Probably a guy with more education than that.
No, but that's just it. Are you allowed to flip it over yourself? No. So
it could be there. There are words, however. An unknown person wrote, original Declaration of Independence dated July 4th, 1776 on the back. It's believed that it was added as a label when the document was rolled up for storage. So like we locked that thing under like 15 inches of bulletproof glass and, make sure. But for like the first 80 years or so, some dude just kept it in his closet.
One of those things you see that's like a scroll.
I bet you when you pull it out, there's like a muffin recipe on the back too.
Yeah, that's why they won't show us what the back looks like.
Yeah, it's just got recipes on the back of it.
And it's probably like sweet recipes.
Thomas Jefferson's sweet cookie recipe. Because he's a well-known grower of cannabis.
The J Sweets with a twist.
Woo, right? Oh, yeah.
Well, they grew it, though, for rope.
For rope, right.
They didn't try anything else. Never.
They never got right. Oh, okay. More. What do we got?
Well, I do know, because you got to remember, I'm not American, so most of my facts come from Canada. But I do know that a lot of people believe that Canada burned down the White House.
No, it was the British.
It was British, but it was before Canada became a country,
Yeah.
and it was the British that were in Canada.
They did it twice.
Yeah. It was just like batches. It wasn't even with a lot of stuff. But I do like, I've heard, like, as Canadian, a lot of Canadians, I hear them say, oh, yeah, well, we took down your White House. And no, it was the British that did it. And, I mean, I'd be mad at them too now.
Burn down my house, bro.
Well, I was mad last night thinking of a firework burning my house down. So
Yeah, it's pretty dry. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there's that meme. My wife just sent it to me, where it shows the Queen looking all upset. It's Happy Treason Day.
But we declared independence from King George, right?
No, from Britain.
In Britain, he was a king. There wasn't a queen.
I'd have to look up history for that. I don't.
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
There was a male king in it at the time, I believe.
But the thing that always baffled me was, so it was Britain that was here and settled in America pretty much the most first.
Well,
And
the
then-
most, I wouldn't say first, but most.
But I mean, that's what it was like.
Spanish. There was a lot of Spanish here, too.
But that was near the Mexican border-ish because they came up
Florida.
that way. But the thing that I always it always made me chuckle a little bit was when the United States decided to kind of revolt against the Britain rule and
It was
change-
over beer, man.
Well, but the thing is everybody was British. It wasn't like it wasn't the United States yet.
No.
So I always get a little chuckle when it's
Well,
like, the United States.
That's why. I mean,
Britain fought Britain,
just think about it. Like, you're a Canadian, right? And all of a sudden, they're like, "No, you live in America, but we're going to put a tax on you from Canada because you live in America." But you're still a Canadian. So if Canada wanted to tax you more because you were living in America, that's pretty much what the British did.
Well, you do realize though that America taxes you if you leave. If you're a citizen and you move somewhere else,
Mhm.
that they make you fill up taxes still.
Yeah, we learned from our predecessors.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much it. Like, they're like, they wanted more money out of us. Another fact, John Adams believed that American Independence Day should be celebrated on July 2nd, as that the actual day the Continental Congress voted for the independence in 1776. So the day it was voted on was actually July 2nd, not July 4th.
Huh.
And as he was so annoyed over it that he refused to go to any invitations to celebrations throughout his life on July 4th.
I wonder why he wanted July 2nd. Maybe he knew that
That's the actual day that they declared
they're
their independence.
But is that the day that they signed everything?
Well, believe it or not, the signing of the Declaration of Independence took place over several months because you couldn't get we are so used to just hopping in a car and being somewhere in a couple hours. Unfortunately, you couldn't get everybody together that quickly back then because you had to take a horse. You could get about 10, 20 miles a day.
Oh, they could just Zoom.
Yeah, right. So, like, I think the final person,
DocuSign?
yeah, the final person actually signed in like August, like late August.
And
Only a few people actually signed on July 4th.
So I'm just gonna throw in a massive what if, but if the entire world decided to sign a peace treaty,
We know that never happened,
but then I feel like it would be through DocuSign online
right?
that would get sent all around, and then 800 years from now, when they look at the records, it's on an iPad that's still trying to be charged.
So yeah. Oh, I never would have saw this coming. Totally saw it coming. As of 2016, July 4th is the #1 holiday for beer sales. Because, I mean, what goes better with blowing stuff up?
And your country is so cheap on beer. Anytime I came down when I was a kid, it was for the price of 124, 24 pack. 24 pack of beer. I could buy 7.
You've been drinking.
I could buy like 7. I'm sorry.
I know. My mom owned a bar. It was like 2 miles. You could see the Canadian border from her door, right? It was 3 miles away, and the Canadians would come down to her bar and drink because they filled the drink to the top of the glass, not the little line on the shot glass. She's like, because all the people that come down in Canada, they get charged by the shot per bottle, so they only fill to the line. They don't go over the line. When you get a pour here, it goes all the way to the top.
That's not a shot.
It's a shot and a half.
That's a drink.
Yep. And we charge the same for a shot.
Oh man, like, you already. I don't. So I'd like to take you back to Ontario just to show you kind of how I.
I got to get a passport, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It might.
Did you get a DUI?
Not yet.
There you go. I'm driving today, so we're good.
But if you get a DUI, can you go home?
Yes, because I'm Canadian. I just wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
They would
Take your license away?
Well, they take,
How would
your,
that
they
work?
take your car, they take your license away, and you get charged up to $50,000.
So it's like 45,000 American.
Yeah, they do
Brutal.
not. It is. Well, let's be honest. It's easy to find a ride home.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an inconvenience.
Well, and we're lucky in this town, and I was this way when I would literally get off work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, walk half a block to the bar, sit there for a couple hours with the guys, and have a few drinks. I was always within walking distance of my house. And a bonus, my awesome wife, who wasn't my wife at the time, was always more than happy to come and get me and give me a ride home. Because she's like, "Are you drunk at the bar again?" I'm drunk outside the bar at the moment.
Well, and I mean, to be honest, I don't know if this would work, but I feel like it would. If you were really stuck and you knew you had way too much to drink and you have no option, if you call the police station,
They will.
I bet you they'll
Oh,
drive
yeah.
you home.
They do.
Because
Yeah, they
they'd
do that
rather
here.
you do that
Oh, yeah.
than deal with other consequences.
Right. Right. Yeah, they do that here. They'll give you a ride.
Good. I'm glad my thought was true.
Just don't make it a habit, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
They might get you for public intoxication, but
I worked in Vancouver, worked security, and we dealt with a very bad group in the hospital. So it was a lot of vagrant population. And I'm telling you, man, they would fake injuries, call the ambulance, and get a ride to the hospital because it was closer to where they wanted to go. They would come, they'd get like a sandwich, they'd be like, "Thanks," and then they'd leave.
yeah, they wouldn't do that here. You know what an ambulance ride costs?
Oh, well, I mean,
Right.
they would put you in jail and feed you.
What's your home address? P.O. cardboard box.
It's just one of the things that's always kind of like, if you really think about it. So, like in Canada, I don't know how it works. That what happens if a homeless person is extremely sick? Like, will they treat them?
Yep, they have to.
Right. So they treat them, and then there's no way to charge them at all. So, how does that get paid? Is it through your taxes?
I have no idea.
Because it would make me wonder, why don't you guys just all pay a little bit more taxes, get that free healthcare?
Hey!
I'm just saying.
Stop it! I didn't do it. Oh,
We want some Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, huh?
He's very American.
He's American. He talks about his red Solo cups and his American flags.
So let's do courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Let's see how this goes.
Well, I I might catch some flack for this one, but I think it's kind of funny, the irony of it. It was a terrible tragedy, but it was a while ago. One World Trade Center in New York is 1,776 feet tall to mark the year the U.S. declared its independence from Britain. Was. The trade towers are no longer standing. When was this updated? I'm like 5 days ago? Or they didn't rebuild the trade towers?
Have they?
Someone in the comments said, Sammy, did they rebuild the trade centers?
I thought that they made a memorial like that.
They did make a memorial, but I didn't think they remade the towers.
150 million hot dogs will be consumed today Most of that will be me.
And me. Because that's what we're having for dinner when we go home. Oh, man. John Adams. Hey, you can thank fireworks. You can thank John Adams for that.
Why, did he light the first one off?
He was the first to suggest it. Like I said earlier today, I mean, I know you and your wife aren't huge fans, which is cool because, I mean, drives your dogs crazy. And I get that.
And birds are killed.
Birds
are killed.
Well, and it's been, people sometimes have issues with fireworks and stuff like that. But it's a lot better than the way we used to do it, where we stood out on our porch with our 6-shooter and just started firing random bullets around. So.
Well, when you shoot a bullet straight up in the air, it goes into the atmosphere and then goes out into space.
Did your wife answer me?
And it never comes back down, so we don't have to worry about that.
I don't think that's true.
I feel like that's what people think. He hates fireworks so
She
much.
does hate fireworks so bad. I get it, though. The Star Spangled Banner became the national anthem 117 years after it was written. Let's face it, it was written to an Irish drinking theme, the music. So
Let's be honest.
it's a good time.
It's a pop song.
Kind of.
Ours is an anthem. It's boring, but you love it for your country.
I don't know. I don't even know what it is because every time I hear it, it's in French.
I could sing it.
No, that's okay. I know "Oh Canada," and that's about it.
I can sing it in both languages.
Thanks. Well, this is a duh, but I'm not going to say that one. But, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that's kind of patriotic, right?
Credence, yeah. Definitely.
Fortunate son.
Only one U.S. president was born on the 4th of July, and I'm willing to bet you don't know who it was.
That was...
You don't know.
I only know like 3, so I'm trying to think of one I don't know.
I didn't know either. But 3 presidents have died on July 4th.
Well, no duh. That'd be a perfect time to assassinate.
Calvin Coolidge was born on the 4th of July.
Who the heck is that?
He was president a long time ago.
Well, he clearly didn't do anything worth memory.
He was born in 1872. And the 3 that died were Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and James Monroe. All died on the 4th of July. Oh, dude, this guy partied so hard on the 4th of July, it killed him. President Zachary Taylor died after the 4th of July party. He lived it up.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Alcohol poisoning does wonders.
I think he ate some spoiled cherries, and they killed him. Have you ever had a flathead cherry?
No.
Oh, man. Those things are ridiculous.
I don't want to now if it's going to kill me.
No, they won't kill you. They'll just make some interesting things happen to you when you go to the bathroom. You'll think you're dying.
Now, is that the machine gun poop where you get a little hard?
No, it turns everything really, really red.
Oh, so you think you're bleeding?
Yep. Okay. Do we have? Well, I wonder if there are any 4th of July conspiracies.
I don't know. This is your holiday.
And I can't type today because
Wonder why?
fat fingers.
Yeah. Here we go. That was some fortunate son. It's a good sign.
I can't spell.
Derek is still struggling with his. He says it's his fat fingers, but I feel like it's something else. You doing okay?
I'm fine. I just can't spell. Leave me alone.
Well, I'm more or less asking if you're doing okay because of the hat that you wear.
Hey, at least we didn't lose. The team's going to get swept in 4.
The team we lost to was in the Stanley Cup final.
And they're getting smoked.
Yeah, but nobody else gets that Jets.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting cold down here.
It was nice in here for a while, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I need to bring like a blanket so I can cover myself up. And then when I get too hot, it's just easy switch on and off.
The most popular.
You're just dragging on.
I know, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
How's the bathroom been going?
Slow, but it's going. Like, I think the first 4 layers or 5 rows of tile were practice.
Well, those are the ones that are kind of at eyesight.
Yeah,
You're looking down on us.
and the best part is like you can't tell because you're looking way down, so they all look uniform and the same. But if you get down to level, you're like, was this guy drinking? And the answer is no. But yeah,
It might have been.
so
I mean, you were talking to me yesterday about how you wanted me to try to find a way that you could play a really old video game.
did you figure it out?
Well, I did, but it's horrible
Why?
because it's really hard when you go that old. And this is just Xbox.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with emulating those is our computers read them too fast and make them laggy.
Oh yeah.
So I watched a video of a guy that was playing it using an emulator, and it was so choppy that I was like, there's no way. So I think your only option would be to go to a pawn shop and get an old Xbox.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Well, I might.
I might.
Oh, that would explain why my
You're what?
why my watch isn't registering. Anyway, did you know there's a giant active volcano under Yellowstone in Wyoming? And if it erupts, it could wipe out the United States. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory.
Your wife's passed out already.
Oh,
We are not drinkers anymore.
we put her to sleep.
It's our
But
soothing voices.
Everybody knows, right? That if that explodes, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's actually a fact. We already know that there's a large volcano.
Well, yeah, that's why hot water.
Conspiracists, though, believe that the government knows when the eruption will happen. I'm just trying to figure out how they think the experts know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen.
Well, they can tell when a volcano is going to go normally, and they let us know.
Like 7 hours in advance.
Yeah. So they do know, but only but 7 hours.
And it's only a high probability. It's not even a guarantee.
I guess the conspiracy would be they don't want to tell anybody if they did. They did know, because then people would flee the United States.
Well, what some people don't realize is that, yes, there are volcanoes, but then there are super volcanoes, which make the normal volcanoes just look like lapdogs, like they're tiny. And
I don't know why, but I pictured a volcano with a cape.
I know, right? It's super.
It's a super volcano.
But if any one of these goes off, I mean, it's a world-changing event because the skies are the world's going to go dark for a while. They already know this. They've seen it before.
Right? It's going to be like you're living in Buffalo. Have you not seen the?
Never been to Buffalo.
Oh man, with Toronto and Buffalo right near each other, it's like smog central.
But I think 3 of the world's largest supervolcanoes are located in the United States. I didn't know that there were 2 other ones. I just knew about the one.
Well, I mean, there was one a long time ago in Montana. Hence why they.
Well, technically, it still kind of is. It's Yellowstone. It's right there.
It's just flat wasteland with random trees.
Yeah. So, what I don't get is people who just sit around and worry about things. It's like, live the day for the day, man. Worry about tomorrow.
Well, no. If a supervolcano went off here, I'm just going to kill everybody.
Honestly, where we're
I'd
at.
like to spend my days down in a bunker. Because, I'd feel free.
Free.
I never understood that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, I get that people are scared and you're afraid to, you're afraid to die. Nobody wants to go through that.
But you're gonna. Whether it's today, tomorrow, by a truck or.
Humans, movies make it look like if you went into a bomb shelter, what is that one called with Tom Hanks, where they go in the bomb shelter and a bomb never happens. But a plane.
That's not Tom Hanks. That's Brendan Fraser, and it's Blast from the Past with Alicia Silverstone.
Is it Brendan Fraser?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that one is.
Tom Hanks is a good actor. We wouldn't take that movie.
Oh. I just remember that.
Yeah, but his dad's like a super genius and all that stuff, and they go down to the bunker.
They make it look like that you would be able to live fine for 30 years.
No, his wife became an alcoholic.
Yeah, but I mean, cabin fever never set in.
Right.
And that's what would actually happen.
We've been under COVID for a year, and it didn't take long for cabin fever to set in for everybody.
You imagine without being able to see sunlight, without being able to go outside, without being able to go do anything, and just living off what's in your storage for, say, even 3 years with only 3 people.
Well, and I
guarantee you, one person might come.
And here, people do what you want, spend how you want. Preppers, man, they boggle me. They're like, I got enough food to last me, 3 years. Okay. What happens after 3 years? If a nuclear thing happens, sure, you're giving yourself 3 years. It's not a very fun 3 years.
Well, that's when they have the stockpile of sunscreen, and it's the UV50.
Like they paint up like I did my kid when he was outside today, man. He looked like Eddie Munster, man. He was so white. That sun was warm. Yeah. Maybe we should be preppers. Dig a big old hole in your backyard.
My house, when we first bought it, because it has that little hill at the back, I was like, how cool would it be to build a door that just goes out to the bottom of the hill in the basement? And that's all it does.
Right.
It does nothing else. And I wanted to drywall over the door that leads to it. So people will go, they find the door, if they went into the garden area there, and be like, where's this go? And then they go into it and be like, it just leads to another door. And then they open up and be like, oh my God, it's an escape hatch. They just think it was something like drug smuggling or something, but only like a 2 foot.
You're Canadian, you're smuggling Tylenol 3s.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
I know.
How it cost me like $3 and
the fact that you can get T3s, man. I mean, those things.
Dentists give those out like pets. One wisdom tooth got me around like 80 or 89.
We just use Vicodin. We're like, here, but these are like $40 a pill. There you go.
Well, the worst thing was I still remember I had those pills and I never used them because an ibuprofen was fine for me.
Right.
And,
well, you should have had them for your tooth.
But then I kept them up the cabinet, and we used them, but we had really bad headaches. We'd have this stack of time.
I've got a legit injury. I'm not taking a T3. I got a bit of a headache. Yeah. I think I'm going to take a T3.
Well, this one's making me have some issues. I'm going to take one. I got a hockey game today. I'm just going to go out there and shoot the puck with some T3s.
You know what? You should do a hockey game on a muscle relaxer.
I think I'd be very bad. Or I'd be like, why is he laying on the ground?
because I had some back problems for a while. They've slowly worked themselves out, physical therapy and stuff like that. But I would take one of those things, and you basically have to go for the next 4.5 to 6 hours. I'm not going to move from that recliner or do anything. And you just melt away. So I'd pop in a video game, and then I'd go to play the game when I wasn't all.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'd be standing at the edge of the map, going, "There's nothing here. What was I doing?"
Yeah, I've had times where you do stuff like that. I'm sure anyone that is an actual avid gamer has had the situation where they're playing a game. Then for some reason they're like, how did I die?
or they're sitting there with a 6-pack or a 12-pack of their favorite adult. And for the first halfway through, you're like, I'm doing pretty good. And then, they're like, oh, just drunk video gaming. I've had to start over because I don't know what I did and I don't know how to fix it.
Well, I remember my youth, and some people are going to get mad, but I smoked a little marijuana.
Oh, jeez.
I know. And my one buddy had never done it, and he wanted to try it because we were just finishing high school, and we were, I didn't peer pressure him. He's one of my good friends, but he wanted. I was like, okay, and he did it. We were playing Smash Brothers, and all I remember was, we're just chilling, eating chips, and you're staring off into space. And he gets up and he's so mad. He's like, I don't even know. Like, my guy's not following my controls. I was like, dude, you're not Mewtwo, you're Mario. You've been jumping off the map the whole game. You just kept jumping off the map.
Yep. I know. I remember one night. I remember when EverQuest came out for PlayStation 2. It was one of the times you could play EverQuest through PlayStation 2. My buddy bought it, and he bought the keyboard controller, right?
Okay.
That was messed up. He was so drunk one night playing it, he was slurring his texting when he was trying to talk to the other players because he would hold the button down so long. So he'd be trying to type a messages like, I'm going to play tank. Because I came home from work and he was playing it. I'm like, because I could read all the, dude, what's wrong with your typing? Nothing. I'm like, are you sure?
That's probably like one thing that you can do when I play World of Warcraft, and if you get your character drunk in that, you can keep feeding them alcohol. Your screen gets blurry.
The first game that did that, do you remember playing Fable?
Yes, and you'd be like stumbling.
The best part was the funniest part about that whole game. I love that game. If you just ran around and kicked a bunch of chickens around people, they changed your name. The Great Chicken Kicker.
I'm supposed to be making another one of those.
When they started bringing in the firearms and more modernizing it, I didn't find it as fun.
Well, no, because
I'm the old school RPG, swords and sorcery kind of guy myself, but that game was a lot of fun.
Because I think that was one of the first games with a real choice system.
Right. Well, and it was randomized. Like, you get scars from battles, and your character would look just. No two characters would ever look the same. But I would get the lightning bolt and max it out, and I would just lightning bolt people and watch their heads just pop off. Video games does not promote violence, people. It just promotes violence in video games.
Well, that is kind of a rant, because there are people that blame video games for a lot of...
And it's garbage. They've already proved it wrong, but people believe what they want to believe.
I even did...
We're too busy playing video games, people, to be violent.
I did a report on it when I was in college in Canada. And I wrote a whole thing on... they found that any kid that was linked to violence that played a lot of video games was also living in a home where he was beaten or neglected by his family.
Yeah. And the same thing goes for music.
So I really because for me, it's a lot easier for me to go and get rage out on a video game because it's safer.
Well, and here's another thing. You hear a lot of people that have, say, anger issues and stuff like that. They will actually go to a gym and learn mixed martial arts or boxing. So they can take out this stuff in a controlled scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So they let that aggression out. It doesn't go out in other places. So that whole link between violence and video game, I mean, it's such a stretch.
I mean, you want to see if the kid's violent? Put them in hockey. Let them play all the way through. And when they get into the contact version of the sport, you'll see if they have anger issues.
Is it anger issues or competitiveness issues?
I just want more kids in hockey.
I do too. So sign your kid up.
Well, I mean, bonus, just to support hockey a little bit, there are like way less injuries in hockey than there are in football and in soccer.
Yep. Which
doesn't make any sense because you're 10 times faster.
Yeah, but you don't have people grabbing on you, pulling on you, so you don't. Well, I mean, pulling.
You play at a beginner level.
No, I mean, you haven't played full contact hockey in a decade.
My wife hit me last time we played.
And it was a legal check.
Yeah.
Right into the boards.
No, head first. That's why I talk this
and
way.
You weren't injured.
Nope.
At least you won't let on that you were. No, it is. It's very low impact on the legs and joints because you're skating. You're not running and jumping. And don't get me wrong. My favorite thing to watch when little kids because kids do this constantly up until they figure out that they need to watch where they're going. When kids are chasing each other while skating, they never look forward. They look at the person that's chasing them. And inevitably, there's always two kids who are looking behind them, and they're like, you see it from the bench, and you're like, oh, their course is going to intersect at about 5, 4, crack. And they just managed to get their head around just in time to go, uh-oh. And you hear it, and you're like, oh.
And then just get back up.
They do. Just a crunch.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. I played a lot of sports. Like I didn't play any like league kind of football, but I mean, we used to play flag football. I played rugby, soccer, badminton.
But like I said, in hockey, yes, there's contact, but you're not allowed to drag them down to the ice. To where in like football tackles, you grab on, you pull, which usually means your foot's stuck in a weird place and you get pulled over.
The thing I find weird is,
and I'm not saying don't put your kids in football because I love football. I'm a football guy. I'm born in America. That's what we do. We play football and baseball.
The only difference
Tennis.
that I usually see between football and hockey is hockey's leaning towards more of the onus is on the hitter to make sure that the person that gets hit is safe. And you can even see it in the NHL.
But they're still flubbing it, man.
They do, but I mean, there was that one that I watched in the playoffs where the guy he was a legal hit. He could have smoked him, but you saw him stop because he realized he was getting off the ice.
Well, even that player, and you say it cost you guys the playoffs. Where was it? Spezza who got taken out because he got
took. I don't want to talk about that because
that was an accident, though. I mean, that's just kind of thing. Even you're like, oh, you can't argue with that because he did try again. He tried to jump out of the way, and in doing so, he kneed him in the head. that looked all.
I don't know. The thing for me was every time I see a hit in hockey, there are ones that you can tell the guy's just trying to crew.
Yep.
But for the most part, they're now starting to look like they just went to hit the guy so he didn't fall over a bit.
Right.
Where every hit that I see in football looks like they're trying to rip the guy apart.
Well, yeah, they teach that.
And that shouldn't be it. You're just trying to knock the guy over so that you get the down there.
Well, and not so much knock him down. They've figured out that it's much better to wrap up and tackle.
Yeah, try to get him.
A lot of the head and neck injuries, though, are coming from because guys want to make the highlight reel hit, so they want to bury them. So they put their head down and, like, rhino them. No, put your face mask into their chest. Quit trying to make the highlight reel tackle and just make a tackle. Trust me, I yell at my football team all the time because they're like, I'm going to shoulder bump you and you're going to fall down, and the guy runs in for a touchdown, and I throw stuff.
Makes me wonder if the media stopped showing the highlight reels of the big, huge, crazy crunches.
Yeah.
And just showed good
clean
hits.
Tackles, yeah.
If people would be like, damn, I got to start hitting clean.
Dick Leader. I mean, we've seen that in hockey, though, where guys just get, like, you're like, how did he stay in his skates?
Yeah. He just gets lit up. But,
yeah.
I mean, I know that, like, for at least at youth hockey, we try to teach that it's a stick on puck, and then you can
And for a lot of our listeners, they're probably thinking of hockey 25, 30 years ago where people would just drop gloves and that is not hockey anymore. And doesn't happen nearly as often as people think it
still
does.
happens enough to make it so that it's still there.
But I mean, it's not like it was. Like there were guys who would literally cut their pads and jerseys and everything so they would come off easier so they could wiggle out and just beat the living hell out of another guy. They literally made rules for these guys because they would do it.
I will, if anybody doesn't really understand hockey but wants a good movie to watch for hockey, pick up Goon.
A terrible example.
No, that is perfect because that is, if you watch the first and then there is a second one, that follows a real life story.
Very loosely based. I read about the story.
Yeah, but it's based on a real guy, and it does show.
He holds the record for most penalty minutes.
But it shows the transition of hockey from what it was to where it was going, because the second one's about how all the goons are starting to get traded.
And you don't see goons in the NHL anymore either.
No, you just see. I don't know the word I'm allowed to use.
Yeah, there's a guy for the Golden Knights, and
Marchand from freaking Boston.
Yeah, and the guy from the Golden Knights. I showed you the replay. The Minnesota player who was facing his own goal.
Yeah.
And he checked him from behind into his own goal. Like he smacked his face into the goalpost. Like that's not even legal away from the goal. So it's like, why? Yeah. I mean, there are guys out there that and it happens in all sports. Cheap shot. I mean, you played sports. You've been cheap shotted.
Yeah, the worst one for me was with rugby, because you had to wear metal cleats in it. You couldn't wear, like soccer. We could use
plastic cleats.
But I understood why. And guys rake you, so that we get a pile up, and it's not like in football where when there's a pile up, the play stops. The pile up happens, and the ref tries to get whoever's underneath to throw the ball out, and then a play starts for that ball gets thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be in one of those, and guys you could see they'd purposely step on your hands and twist their cleats.
Yeah.
But you want to know who the worst was? We would watch girls rugby, and they were violent, man.
There is nothing more violent than a girl fight. Hair, nails, biting. It gets vicious.
Like I saw a girl get hit in her area, and I know it hurts too. And the girl meant to do it. When I played rugby, we'd stomp on each other's hands. You
wouldn't do that to another guy?
I hit a guy in his area without really meaning to, because we never tried to.
You'd apologize.
The play would stop, and we'd be like, "Oh man, I am sorry. My apologies." Like, it's okay. I know. I get it. But with girls, it was just like everything's free game.
You know, if it came down to me getting into a fight with a full-grown grizzly bear or a girl, I might take the grizzly bear.
Got a better chance.
Yeah. Oh, man, they are vicious. They fight to win.
Yeah.
They don't fight to survive. They fight to win.
Well, my understanding is with girls rugby was if the other team can't move, you win.
Well, in high school, I was at a party, and these two girls ended up getting. It was over a guy. First of all, girls don't fight over a guy, especially if you're just dating them.
Yeah, I know lots of guys are single.
You could find new ones. It's not hard. But this one chick had this girl by the hair, and she was full on kneeing her in the face repeatedly. I'm like, they don't do that in Mai Tai. Like, jeez.
I feel like I'm now picturing this happening as you're sipping beer with guys being like, "Whoa."
I break them. No, because you don't want to get in there.
It's like the cartoons where you see the two people fighting, and then if you're like, "Hey, what's that?" And then
you get sucked in. Yeah, that's kind of what we were thinking. We're like, no. No, actually, I have to tell a story. We were at the Disturbed came up for a concert in Great Falls. It's got to be 10 years ago, and me, my wife, and my buddies were sitting there, and we were standing. It was in the Metra, and and we're watching this, and this girl, she obviously didn't know who my wife was. She pushed her.
Mm.
And my other friend, my buddy Larry, he was I will just say he was a short guy with a big temper. He didn't like that. I don't worry about my wife. First of all, she could take care of herself. She's more than capable of taking care of herself. But this guy's boyfriend started to get on it. I had to carry my wife and him out before they got us thrown out and thrown in jail because they were going to kill this poor couple.
You touched me?
I didn't care. I'm a pretty big pacifist. I don't have much of a temper. Like, I mean, my blood will get boiling a little bit for some things, but it takes quite a bit to get me going. No, I didn't care. I was like, but they were ready to throw down. I was like, jeez.
Yeah. Oh.
I felt like, I had like two kids, one by the pants, each by the pants, and just carrying them out.
Just seeing Amanda getting mad at you for carrying her.
She was mad. She was peeved because I was like, why didn't you let me? Because you would have killed her. Then I'd have to bail you out of jail.
Well, I feel like this is a good time to play Only in America.
Only in America. America. She totally would have killed that chick,
Here's
too.
Only in America. Brooks is done. Oh, it was just on one of the
No. That's America.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, with an American flag, right? Who was your favorite wrestler growing up? You were a wrestling fan, weren't
My sister was more than I was.
you? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just did the. I like to do the backyard wrestling.
Holy cow!
What?
I don't know why my phone just all of a sudden decided to get.
Oh, you weren't getting all those?
No!
Oh, yeah, I was.
I got 14 unread messages.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Man, I am thirsty.
Well, you should have. Here.
Yeah. I'm
Drink some hand sanitizer.
Hold on.
It's got alcohol in it. It'll be all right.
92% alcohol.
Sammy, I'm driving home.
Yeah, but I also know that I've seen homeless people that drink this stuff and it doesn't work out well.
Or toner.
Is there something around here?
Unless you could break into the pop machine, no.
Is there a pop machine?
Yeah, up there in the cafeteria.
Oh, that's not going to be open.
Yeah, see that. Thank you, Sammy. Or is that yeah, Sammy sent that. I think. No, Amanda did. That the World Trade Centers has not been rebuilt. Okay.
Oh, it's really hot out there.
Why didn't you bring something to drink?
I forgot.
Isn't there a water fountain around here?
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, right there.
Where?
I can see it from right where I'm sitting.
Oh my god.
Water! Water!
I'll be back there. Oh.
Oh, gross, man. Left me in here with that. Oh, wow. Let me see. Barry's gone. I gotta find something.
Are you entertaining people still?
No, because I can't text or type.
You can't talk and text and type at the same time?
No.
Oh, we only have 2 viewers.
Well, we know who one of them is.
Sammy.
Probably. Da. Oh, they're making another Transformers film.
Are they?
I've been a Transformers nut since I was a kid. I watched the cartoon as a kid. And So whenever, even the bad movies, I watch them. A huge fan. But they are gonna release Rise of the Beasts.
Is that the one with the dinosaurs?
No, they already did that one. Age of Extinction.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I'm just getting the next song out of it.
Oh, yeah. What cartoons did you watch as a kid?
Darkwing Duck.
You were okay. I said a kid, not a high schooler.
I love Darkwing Duck.
I know. I watched it too. Darkwing Duck. But you must have had nice parents who paid for Disney, because Disney wasn't just part of basic cable back then. You had to
We
buy
had
it.
satellite, and our package came with Cartoon Network.
I never had satellite. And we finally did get satellite. I was almost graduated from high school.
We have those big ones that go like, and you went to a different channel.
That's so the aliens can find you.
Mm-hmm. And I remember my dad only got it because
Was it for hockey?
no, he got it because a guy moved and didn't take his big dish,
Oh,
and because he worked for Bell, he could get the box for free.
nice.
So he had to,
Yeah, I always saw my buddies that had that big, giant satellite dish in their yard. And that thing was huge.
yeah, and you had to cut down trees to make it so it could hit the satellite right. And I remember you'd be like, "Hey, let's go watch this channel." You'd turn to that channel, and then you'd hear it wouldn't come in right away, and you'd hear the outside. Kids don't even understand yet.
Dude, I learned how to type on a typewriter. So, my wife went to school with a person who typed up a report on a typewriter and then asked, where do they print it? She didn't put any paper in it. She just kept typing, and she could hit the print button and it would print it out.
Wow. What? She wrote the whole report out in the cloud.
Well, it worked nowadays.
Oh no.
What?
I didn't see how long the song was that I put on, and I didn't put on America Pie the single. I put on the full one.
You put on the full 16-minute one?
8-minute one.
Oh, 8-minute. Yeah. So, did you see that they've picked Daniel Radcliffe to play Wolverine?
What was there? I had to make sure that it was the right song.
Daniel Radcliffe to play Wolverine in the Marvel movies.
Wait, is that?
That's Harry Potter!
No way. That's horrible.
They
It's
did.
a horrible
They did.
decision.
Oh, come on. Out with it. That's all you got is it's horrible? You don't think you can do a good job?
No, I do not.
Why not?
Because I watched him. The closest I think he would come to as a Wolverine kind of character was in Abkaido. Is that what it was called?
It's a mock-up of his what he's going to look like.
Lame. Looks stupid.
See, I think the issue with Daniel Radcliffe is he's going to get lumped into one of those actors that is known for one thing. Let's face it, like Mark Hamill did a lot of movies. He's only known for being Luke Skywalker.
Who's the guy that plays Wolverine right now?
Hugh Jackman?
All I know him is for Wolverine.
Oh, come on. He did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but Wolverine was the best one.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, is now whenever somebody says Wolverine, that's who you picture.
Mm-hmm. But my problem with him is I saw him in that. It's like Enkaido. I don't know if you've seen that. It's actually a pretty good movie. He gets mixed up in this weird thing that he shouldn't have, and it's he gets guns welded onto his hands.
Is that where he's in the bathrobe in the middle of the street? And
Yeah.
he's doing it because he can't let go.
Yeah, so I can't remember exactly why he gets put into the situation, but he shouldn't have. He insulted somebody. That's what it was. He insulted somebody online, so they put him in this game. So there's this game that you can get put into, but you play it in real life, so you have to run around, and cops don't know what's going on, and it was actually pretty good. But that was the closest I could see him because he gets like crazy mad at some points.
Well, the kid was in what is it, 6 Harry Potter movies?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't cast any spells in that movie, though.
No. But I mean, that's just it. You think he's the little kid from Harry Potter. And so he can, that's what he is.
I just don't think he has the look, because the problem is it's not about makeup. It's not about acting ability. You need to have that guy look that he's been
Presence.
in the woods. Yeah, he's been in the woods his whole life.
The thing is nobody knows how old Wolverine really was because he didn't age.
Yeah. Well, he does. It's just extremely slow.
Right. He doesn't. Yeah, I mean, so no one really knew how old he really was. I was a fan of almost every Wolverine movie they did, except for the Origins movie, which was
The
awful.
one with Deadpool?
Yeah.
You talk too much, so we made it so you can't.
Oh, it was so bad. So bad. But yeah. So you don't like that idea, huh?
No,
Daniel
I do not.
Radcliffe? Well, how do you feel about the Twilight kid being
No,
Batman?
No.
Here's my issue. Stop making Batman movies and stop making Superman movies. We've done this.
Do new heroes. That we
Pick
haven't done.
someone out there has got to have a decent Green Lantern script out
Well,
there.
and I think the other problem that they do is you don't have to get a star actor to play the role.
Well, and if you're going to do a Justice League or something like that and you need those guys, you don't have to do a movie to introduce them. We know who Batman is and why Batman is Batman. You can ask anybody, even say like your wife, who's probably not, is she a big comic book fan?
Because I am. She's learning.
But you can ask, hey, you know who Batman is? She knows who Batman is.
Mhm.
She knows who Superman is.
I mean, like,
They don't need background stories.
shows the movie Shazam. I thought it was phenomenal.
Oh, it was fun. It was pretty good.
Right, it was the perfect amount of action with goofy
Well, and
comedy.
they geared it towards the kids' end, but it was adult enough to where you could,
Yeah.
see the adult humor in
But
it.
I like that, and that they had to get a kid for it, and the guy that plays the adult version of Shazam, I don't recognize him from anything. They got some people that were kind of no names, and it was a great movie. I thought.
Right. Well, except for the villain, I've seen that guy, and he makes a good villain. I've seen him in lots of different stuff, and he's usually the villain.
Yeah.
But he has that villain presence. Actually, he did. He was in what's the British spy movies with the Kingsman. He was in the Kingsman movies. He's not a bad guy in those ones. But
I just realized that we didn't do the top of the hour.
at neither time.
I did it the first time.
What you said? There's nothing.
Yeah, I said just it's the 4th of July. Go do something. Don't be in your house.
We'll be okay, I think.
Yeah, I'll just do it when we come back. I'll be like, I didn't realize this song was 80 minutes.
Well, why'd you pick? I told you not to pick American Pie.
I like American Pie.
I like apple pie too, but that doesn't mean you have to play that song.
different. You can talk about that with your wife. I wonder if she's still sleeping.
I should be.
We gotta go
But
drink beer when we get back.
no, 800 water balloons
And beer.
and hot dogs.
Mm-hmm. And beaver tails.
Those are scones for those of you who don't know. what
No, they are not.
those are.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, hide it. Hide it so your wife doesn't see it.
Oh.
Wow. This isn't such a big surprise to me because I know a guy, but
We're
who's
going
never
to come
seen
back
it.
on in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
8.
Well, not that quick. I was facetious.
Quit lying to me then.
It is now 4 seconds. And yeah, we're back. That was American Pie. I figured everyone would want to hear the 8-minute version.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
You know, people were singing it. And
Oh, yeah.
if you're
Everybody's singing
chatting, 8 minutes. doesn't
That
feel
song is
long.
dedicated to the day the music died, the death of Richie Valens, Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly, whom I'm a huge fan of Buddy Holly.
And we missed the top of the hour, so
You missed it.
you're listening to Average Reds here at KNMC 90.1 FM. And for the events going on, I'm sure there's fireworks just out your back door.
Probably.
It is the 4th of July. For you that are listening that do not know what that is, I'm confused. We are in America. It is Independence Day. Not the movie. The day that you signed, what was it? The wording and everything was finalized for the Declaration of Independence.
A bunch of guys got drunk in a bar and went, nope, we're not part of England anymore. You guys are too, you're taxing us too much.
And you guys talk funny. Well, you do. You
Not all of us.
tell us that I thought.
Say pasta.
Pasta?
Exactly.
It's not pasta. It's
It
pasta.
is.
Maybe in America. Go to Italy. It's pasta.
I'm not Italian.
Or you should say it the way that it's supposed to be spoken in their language. Because that's where it's originated from. Why don't you just call it noodles?
Hey, did you do the announcements?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
Now you're being all defensive.
Oh, they got watermelon.
Oh, hopefully it wasn't the one we were talking about with the vodka.
And for those of you who do have one of those, you guys are having a great 4th of July.
Yeah, just poke a hole in the top, throw the bottle in, put a quarter, what is it,
A tap.
A tap at the other end, and you're going
Just-
to have yourself a good night.
It's going to be a good day, guys. Yeah.
Average Rand's tip of the day. Watermelon vodka.
Yeah, you can, well, if you really want to get messed up, you could throw a little Everclear in there, but
Okay, we're not trying to kill people.
yeah.
But yeah, you were about to say something, but then I cut you off because we were about to
I don't remember what it was now.
Derek, I thought you found an interesting story.
No, nothing's ever interesting, really. Like I said, I go through most of this stuff, and it's just a bunch of political garbage that I don't want to talk about, let alone read.
Well, I mean, that's almost a rant in itself. I'm getting sick of nothing good ever on the news anymore.
Well, you know, what I'm just, people are just so mad at each other now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I mean, I know we don't like to get political and stuff, but all I can think is Democrat, Republican. I feel like if you talk with people and you don't know what they are, for that, then you're fine.
My biggest thing is
Find
if I sit down and talk to somebody and I don't know their religious views or their political views, I don't ask and I don't bring it up.
Yeah.
I talk about things that I know. Like most of the guys I hang out with, I play hockey with. Well, let's talk a little hockey because my D&D friends, we talk about games and stuff like that. And for those people I do know, their political views are different than mine. I'm still friends with them. Believe it or not, you're Canadian and I'm friends with you.
It's because we're amazing. See?
It's just because your kid's American.
Yeah, you guys look at me and you're just like, I want to punch him, but I just can't.
I'm pretty sure I could,
No, I don't think you could.
but then I wouldn't have anyone to hang out with.
Yeah, exactly. See, so you don't.
You whine every day that I can't go play golf with you because I have a job.
Well, here we go, Mister. I have to pay bills.
Well,
You're
my
the
wife
sugar mama.
pays most of the bills.
Exactly. So if you miss a couple days, you don't know.
She does know.
Is she following your app?
No, she deposits my check. But no.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the worst thing that has happened in the past couple of years has been I've had friends that don't want to talk to other friends due to their political view and nothing more. I'm like, well, before that they were the same views. You just never
talked about it.
And I mean, it's happened to me where there's been people that I've been like, I just can't handle. It doesn't mean I won't talk to them, but I couldn't look at their Facebook anymore, and like I don't go and try to voice my opinion to everybody.
Well, here's the thing, people. You can't change someone else's feelings on Facebook. It's just not going to happen.
You can't even do it face to face. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, and I tell my wife this because she's a professor, and kids get mad at her when she teaches things because they don't agree with the way that they feel it should be.
Uh-huh.
And I'm always like, well, you're not going to change their mind, even though you are going by fact and knowledge, and they're going by what they've heard.
Or learn from it. Like kids don't learn, and they learn most of it from their family or their parents.
Friends, atmosphere that they're around.
Because you don't start out religious, you don't start out political. You just pick it up over time.
Yeah. Well, I think the hardest thing for humans to do is to change their mind.
Accept change. Because change is scary.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are afraid of. And it doesn't matter, political, doesn't matter anything. It's if you are, you're dead set on that this is the color blue that you're looking at, and somebody says, actually, no, that is violet.
What if they're colorblind?
Right? But I'm just saying, if they're not, it's that, no, it is blue. I don't care what you say.
Right.
And it's going to take this guy 20 years to convince that guy that it was actually violet.
You don't have to be friend. I mean, to lose a friend over something as trivial as politics, to me, is kind of.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, and then there are people who I don't like to hang out with because that's all they want to talk about, or all that they, and that's what they're passionate about. And that's great. But find someone else who's interested in it. You have to know what somebody's into. I'm not a very openly political for the most part with people because, well, my views are probably different than yours, which is okay. And so,
I mean, I think my wife and I are pretty open with our political stuff, but that's because we're Canadian. People just didn't know what our political views are probably going to be.
So, but I think it's a shame that so many people have lost friends over.
Well, yeah, it's
this.
been rough. I feel like these past couple of years, because when we were younger, both sides kind of got along a little bit.
Well, and here's the thing, and it could just be because I more recently in the last 5 years or so have become more politically aware. When I was 18, 19, all the way up into maybe my early 30s, I didn't care. I was too busy camping, fishing, hunting, drinking, doing whatever. And oddly enough, in the bars, I just didn't pay attention to political talk because I just didn't care. Right? I just had too many other, and people would ask, "You didn't know this happened?" No, and I feel bad. Like the day the trade centers were bombed, I didn't know until about 4 hours after I was at school. I'm like, why is everybody staring at TVs? Because I didn't watch the news or anything.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the fancy dancy technology that we have now.
Everybody had phones when that happened. Everyone would have known in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It would have been like a natural.
Like I looked at, I was putting my shoes on to go to class. I remember this really well. I looked up and I saw a plane hit a building. I figured it was a movie or something. I wasn't really paying attention. I just didn't think about it. And I threw my shoes on and went to school.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I try to think of any time, even when I was in Canada, because down here I don't really get a vote. But in Canada, when I was a citizen, so I can't think of a time that when somebody was elected, that it actually affected my life. And I mean, we had people that were different parties through all my life, and I can't think of anyone that caused such a drastic change that it affected me personally, no matter what side of the spectrum they were on. They would make decisions that I'd be like, I don't agree with that decision, but that decision never actually would affect me. So, I don't know. I feel like people get too hung up on it, and because I don't know. Even when they say, we're going to tax small business or something like that. I've known small business owners. I've asked them about it, and they're like, I don't notice. I didn't notice the change. So.
I mean, it could be so small it doesn't even.
Well, it always seems like if you're a small business and you're taxed an extra 2%, you probably won't notice it. But when you're like a huge company, an extra 2% makes you feel like it's
Oh,
more because it's a bigger number.
Oh, it is a big number, yeah.
But you're making it's the same difference. 2% of $2 is the same as 2% of 200. It's just a bigger number.
Yeah.
So
why can't we all be taxed the same? You get a certain percentage taxed based on your wages.
Yeah.
Then everybody's paying in the same percentage, right? So you're going to pay a 4% tax of whatever you make for the rest of your life. I get it. Sucks if you're a billionaire, but let's be honest. You're a billionaire.
a guy was
And you get it
telling
back.
me, so if you had $1 million and you spent like $1,000 a day, it'd take you a while to go
So,
$1 million.
Speaking of taxes and fines, this is sports, and this is kind of a good one. The Washington Redskins owner Daniel Snyder was fined like $50,000 for being mistreating females in the work environment.
Oh,
This is how they fine him, and this is complete and utter garbage. They made him donate it to a charity of his choice. You're not fining him at that point because he's going to write that off as a tax write-off, and he's going to get it back. And it's $50,000 to a guy who owns a pro team.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Because I mean, he could have just donated it to the Washington Redskins Foundation. Like,
Right? Oh, wait. Here we go. It was a $10 million fine.
Well, that's a little bit more.
But still, it's not even a fine. They're making him put it towards a charity.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like it doesn't.
Yeah, that kind of stuff just does.
And this isn't the first. And this isn't the first time he's been busted for something like this, for mistreating females in the workplace. Like, I just feel like the NFL's like, well, no, he's one of our owners. Yes, you can.
Well, I think, and I'm going to kind of go to me growing up playing hockey. My family wasn't like poor, but we were like lower middle class, I guess you would say. And for my dad to get me to play hockey, it cost $1,000 a year.
Gee.
And here, it's only like $100 when they're young, but it was still $1,000 a year for my dad. And he told me that he would work extra hours so that he could afford for me to play. But then, I'd be playing and everything would be good, but then all of a sudden we'd have to pay for bus trips and all these little extra things. And sometimes I think people that run stuff, like run organizations, run businesses, they're the people that have money. They're usually slightly wealthy, and they forget how much it costs.
Right.
To the
well, I mean, think about it. I mean, yeah, you and I hear $10 million fine. We're like, what? $10 million? And then you realize this guy owns a professional franchises that's probably worth upwards of almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like $10.
He'll scratch you a check, right?
Yeah.
But now he's just scratching a check to, I can't remember, I didn't find it for sure, but I think it's to a cause that's for helping places who mistreat employees in the workplace. So, and it's just frustrating to see that they allowed it to go this far. Like, what is with, and I brought it up earlier in the NHL, where they are doing a terrible job at punishing players or anybody a part of an organization who do things blatantly wrong, and you see it. Like the guy who's headhunting in the NHL. That guy, he got, what did he get, a 2-game? No, he didn't even get suspended, and then he went out and played in the next game and put a guy out permanently for the season.
So I found the math so I could let people, because I really thought that this was kind of cool when somebody explained it to me. So if you have $1 million and you spend $1,000 every single day, and you don't gain any more money, you just can spend it until it's gone. It would take you about 3 years. But if somebody gave you $1 billion and you did the same, spent $1,000 a day, it would take you 2,740 years. That's the difference between 1 million
And
$1 billion.
and I get it. Like, so he owns a sports franchise. It's worth nearly $1 billion. Its net worth is that. Like, if he were to sell all that, he doesn't have $1 billion in his pocket.
Well,
But but still, a $10 million fine to that. And it wasn't even really a fine. That's the thing that bothers me the most. It wasn't really a fine. You didn't really do anything.
yeah, it's more like, you know what? I'm gonna get you in trouble, but you get off scot.
Well, and the thing is they found out that they've been covering it up for years. So and that's the best you can do is a fine. So I know the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers had to give up his basketball team because he was so blatantly racist. So the NBA commissioner made it come out and said, the other owners have spoken. You got to sell your team. We're not going to allow you to have this team anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I wish. It's one of those things I kind of always wished I knew what it would be like to just buy whatever you want. Just be like.
You can't do that now?
But that's just the thing. We've gotten to a point where I'm not like wealthy, but when I really want something, I can buy it. And if I had more money that I knew what to do with, I'd buy things that I probably wouldn't even use anymore. It would just be something like I would make a room that was all hockey memorabilia, and that's all it is. And what's that? That's just a cool room to show people.
And it serves no real purpose other than the fact that you can.
Right. Yeah. So like my hockey memorabilia right now that I have down in my.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Is jerseys that I've worn, jerseys from teams that my mom got, a guest book of signatures.
You got Wayne Gretzky's signature, pal.
Wayne Gretzky.
If he croaks, that thing might actually be worth something at someday.
It's got Bobby Orr, and it's got Brett Gretzky and Walter Gretzky.
Well, the poor Brett. All right, if you're gonna feel bad for a guy, let's face it. Brett Gretzky was not a bad hockey player. He just was not Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, and people assumed he would be.
And that's not fair.
No, I felt bad for him because he played for the Belleville Bulls when my mom worked for them down there. And I was young, and I remember meeting him, and I met Darren McCarty there too. And I just felt, you could tell, like, people would be really nice to him and stuff, but you could always see he had, like, that presence of, I like playing, but this is ridiculous.
I really despise being Wayne Gretzky's brother.
Yeah.
Who? The great one?
It'd be like, I feel like if he got a goal, they'd be like, all right, 10 more.
Your brother was playing juniors at 15. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I apologize then.
I watched a thing on him. I didn't realize he lied about his age so he could play juniors early. That's crazy.
Oh, Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah. He was he was owning them.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing kids that are 19, 20 years old, and he is owning them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crosby kind of did the same thing. He didn't have to lie. They just bumped him up. Crosby was doing that too. Yeah. Pretty sure. I don't know much about McDavid because I still haven't done like a bio kind of on him yet. But I'm sure that something like that happened.
Yeah, he got MVP for a reason. He carried the Oilers all the way to the playoffs.
Oh my God. I feel bad because I don't know what team you need to throw him on that you'd never get a return.
Well, here's the thing, like Gretzky, and Gretzky was the greatest of all time for his generation. And even he admits he couldn't play hockey now because the game has changed, right? But let's throw Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Austin Matthews. Those guys, like, they can't do it themselves. The game has changed too much. To whereas Gretzky, the minute he left his team, and the team he went to, Stanley Cups, here we go. Except for the Rangers. Even he couldn't help the Rangers. But he was like 42 years old or something like that when he went to the Rangers.
Yeah, I think the average speed back then for an NHL player was like 30 miles an hour. And now it's around 40. And that's just the average. It's not the...
Right.
So, I mean, what Connor McDavid skates at around 51 at top speed, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, in the All-Star thing, they're like, "Oh, he's doing a speed competition. Why are we even
Who
here?"
didn't win? It was
That girl won.
Yeah.
That female hockey player. That was cool. I like that they did that the last couple of years. They started bringing in girls from they're trying to start a professional female hockey league and support the crap out of that because there are a lot of great female hockey players.
Well, and I've talked to you about this. I watched women's hockey when it first started. It was in the Olympics and stuff. And I remember watching it when I was a kid with my dad. And I would watch it and go, I could play better than them. And that's just because I would watch it and I didn't understand what was going on. Now I watch it and I'm like, well, they've clearly got more support. They've clearly got they're getting closer to the same opportunities that men. There's, I'd say maybe 50% the way there. But you can tell that they're actually being treated better and that they're getting those opportunities. And now there's no way I would live.
We play hockey and Kayla is a goaltender. She could put both her toes in the butterfly on the each post. I would split in half.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, the goalposts are exactly 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And she could put both toes on each post. I'm just going,
well,
nope.
And she's not that tall.
She's short. She's 5'8", 5'10",
That's
maybe.
why every time I play against her, I got to shoot high because I know she's
gonna go into that butterfly. Yeah.
But, yeah.
But she could put both. I watched the first time I watched her play. I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, I don't know. I like thinking about like women's hockey with it growing, and I'm hoping that it goes to other sports because the problem that we run into is people say, "Oh, girls are going to get hurt," or "This is going to happen," and it's
garbage.
Because
it's complete and utter garbage.
If roles were completely reversed and guys were not allowed to play sports because they thought they would get hurt, and girls did it, girls would look really good, and the guys would look.
There's a big push to get girls out of combat sports.
Yeah.
They know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Girls shouldn't be fighting. Why? It's okay for a guy to get in there and get beat. Well, that's where the big thing is. It's okay for a guy to go in there and get the crap kicked out of him. But why can't a girl, if she wants to compete? I know your wife likes to do. She does.
I still remember the first
combat sports.
The first time she was in kickboxing, doing actual face combat fighting, and she got hit in the face, and her nose started bleeding. And we go into, well, she went into the bathroom. I ran in with her to make sure she was okay. And her nose is bleeding. She's crying. And I was like, "Are you okay? You okay?" She's like, "I can't believe she beat me."
Well, the thing, honestly, I don't believe she was crying on purpose because there's a body.
Hurts.
Well, no, but a body reaction. When you get hit in the nose, your eyes immediately start to water. It's just a reaction that your body has.
Well, I mean, but now, like, I remember then the second time she got hit in the face. It looked like one of those things in a movie where you get hit in the face and then you look at the person and you're madder.
Oh yeah, like it flips a switch. Like okay, like I've seen fighters like that.
But that's what it is. Like so, if girls had the same opportunities guys had in sports, you would see girls playing at a caliber level as guys.
Absolutely, I believe that 100%. Like every time I see females come up, girls come up, and they want to like if every age sign up for hockey. I'm like yes. Mm-hmm. I am tired of seeing everything so male dominated. It doesn't need to be. There's no reason that females can't do anything that guys can.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited for like the women's league that's starting. I know Canada and the United States are doing a pairing kind of. It's going to start off small. I think it's like 10 teams or something. But yeah, I will buy every freaking jersey. I will go and buy a jersey for each one.
They had a few games this summer. It was fun to watch. We watched it. It was a lot of fun.
It's interesting, and I mean, it is. It's going to be one of those things. Like if they did it with football, if they started a girls' football where you could watch it, because I know there is a professional one. It's just very small.
I couldn't even tell you.
I only know about it because I was doing research on stuff in one of my sports psychology classes.
See, the NFL, the football in the United States is very, very weird. There's high school, then there's college. Most people teeter out in high school, then a few go to college. And then it's nothing. It's the pros or you bust. There's no like baseball, hockey, and basketball. They have minor leagues. Football doesn't have that for the most part. But if you don't get drafted out of college, you might make it in an arena league somewhere or something really small. But odds are you're done.
I
your
mean, that's
football
why
career is
I
over.
try to tell some of the kids that I was coaching because they'd be like, well, I got to make a decision, coach. I might get a scholarship with football and I was like, well, man, I was like, you can get a scholarship with hockey. It's just as easy as you get a scholarship with football.
And I will tell that same kid, I'm like, all right, you want to play football and you love football? That's great. Go football. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are far more opportunities to play any other sport. If you're thinking you're going to be a pro football player, sorry.
Yeah, you'd know probably by high school if you could be a pro.
3%. The average NFL career is 3 years. 3 years in a pro.
Yeah. Hockey is like
You go pro, okay, whatever, you didn't make it, they send you back down. You could Peter patter between the 20 different leagues in semi-pro hockey.
Well, I mean,
You could go to Europe and play hockey. I mean, you can go to Canada and play hockey. I mean, hockey, there's so many. But if you were looking to like football, it's if you don't make it to pro after college, you're done playing football for the rest of your life.
You want to know what I still think is the best sport to play? And I mean, I played the sport, but baseball. As long as you're not a pitcher.
Oh, pitching is so hard because you got to hit that tiny little target and not hit the batter.
I mean, like think about all you have to be able to do is throw a ball well and hit a ball.
Oh, I can't hit.
But I mean, you could practice that. That'd be an easy thing to practice.
Softball, however, if that ball's coming at me at 90 miles an hour, but softball, I would love to play softball.
I see how much money they make, and for the most part, if you really watch a game, nobody's doing much except for the pitcher and the catcher.
And people say it's boring, but watching a pitching battle between two teams where a pitcher is just owning the plate, like he's dialed in on that strike zone, and the hitters just cannot hit the ball. It's yes, I give it to you. Granted, if you're not a big baseball fan, and it's not fun to watch, but it's crazy. But there again, that's another sport where there's opportunity outside the major leagues. They have so many different minor leagues that you could get into. Your baseball career doesn't end at high school or college.
Yeah, I know, like in hockey in Canada, and I don't think it's the same like up there anymore. But I mean, I got minimum wage to play hockey and go to school.
Right.
And that was just because it was a very well-funded break.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, and Europe has a hockey league, but baseball is all over the United States. Soccer's got a bunch of different leagues too.
If you are a baseball player and you're half decent, but you don't think you'll make the major leagues here, go to Japan.
Yeah,
I watched a couple of those games there. They are very competitive, and you can tell when an American steps up to the plate, or like a Canadian or somebody that's not from there, because they stand up and the announcers are in Japanese, but they get really excited.
Well, and again, the All-Star game for the MLB is coming up in a couple weeks, and there's a pitcher going to take place in the home run derby, and he's leading the league in hits, earning home runs, and he only plays a few games a week. They play 5 or 6 games a week, and he pitches 2 or 3 games.
You know what it is? It's because his one arm's so much stronger than him. He's got that beef arm.
Yeah. Well, and this is just my personal, and the fact in baseball is weird because it's got the 2 different leagues within a league that play by 2 different sets of rules. One's got the DH, and the other one does not. The DH is your pitcher doesn't have to bat. We just designate this dude who's going to hit for the pitcher every time he comes up. The other league's like, no, the pitcher has to bat. I lean to that side. If you're going to play the game and you're in the field and you're pitching, you should have to bat, right?
Well, I would think most pitchers want to bat.
No, I don't think so. I'd be terrified.
When I was a kid, I pitched, and I just did hardball, but I only played. I was like 15 when I did that, and I loved pitching and then hitting. Hitting was my favorite part.
I would love to hit. I just can't do it.
I didn't mind pitching, but the thing I hated most about it was if I didn't like the guy, I was like, I just want to hit him. That's
my biggest fear about being a batter is he going to hit me with the ball?
Well, at 15, I don't always know if
right.
It's going to go right.
My accuracy was a little, but Yeah, if you're listening and you got a kid who doesn't have anything to do in the wintertime, get him up to the hockey rink. Just to skate, not even to play hockey. You just get up there and skate.
I'm pretty sure that no matter what age, if they want to start and they want to try, heck, I will come help your kid for a while, get him on his feet or her. And
I started skating. Well, I was learned to skate as a kid for like a year, and I wasn't very good at it. My dad took me to the outside hockey rink. It was down here on Fifth Avenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't skated since then. My daughter started playing hockey when she was 4. I was 35, 36 years old. I learned to skate at 36.
I learned to skate at 4.
Yeah, and you're good at it. Stop it. But you can learn the sport at any age, and it's so much fun.
But I mean, it's also, it's $100 their first year.
Your first year.
No matter what level you're at, they charge you $100 just to try it.
And you will get your money's worth out of it. I've had my kids soccer, softball, you name it. They get a month. Hockey starts in October, and they go till March.
Well, and the crazy thing, I don't know what it's like with the other sports, but I feel like, at least here, from what I've seen, because hockey is a little bit longer than a lot of the other ones, and you're a little bit more invested in it.
You are. It's a big commitment.
It becomes more of a family at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, heck, you and I wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for the hockey.
No.
We wouldn't have met. And that's the way that I think like it is with a lot of parents. A lot of parents, especially if you're new to the area. I got into this area because
And if your kid's in hockey, I can't tell you how much fun it is to put the pads on, skates, and a stick, and get out there and play with your kids.
Yeah. And
you will never see your kid light up so bright if they get to play you in a game of hockey.
Yeah, I still remember the day that my dad jerseyed me. Just came up, he grabbed me by the little stuff of hair that comes out and pulled up on it. I don't know if you grab that little tuft of hair.
Oh, yeah.
Up, it hurts. And then while I was wailing, my buddy came over to help, so he pushed him over, jerseyed me, and then grabbed him by that little tuft of hair. And I'll always have the memory of my dad dragging 2 kids around a hockey rink. Well, the game is still going on, but that's what you want to do as a kid, right? You want to go fight your parent.
Yep. And for those of you parents who are out there who want to get to know the game, and if your kid's in it, there are free services we offer for parents who want to learn the game. We will teach you to skate. We will get you the gear.
And don't feel bad about anything with the age too. I mean, when I was in Georgia, I played on a hockey team. I was 30, I think I was about 34 when I was on that team.
You've only been at Haber 3 years?
No, so I would have been 31.
Nice math skills there, Barry.
Well, somewhere around there.
I'm starting to question your goals and assist tally here.
I remember those because that's just add 1. But the team I played on, the oldest guy in the team was 71 years old.
Right.
And the second youngest was 57. I was the youngest guy on the team, and that's why. And Sammy will tell you, I don't know how many times I would skate down the ice with the puck, and I'd turn around, and no one would be there because they were doing a line change. And when I get to the bench, I'd be like, I need support, guys. They're like, no. You're the legs. You got it.
Yep. But so, yeah, we encourage anybody and everybody who wants to try to get up there and give it a go. And love it or hate it, at least you could say you tried it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be like if there was an adult football thing, I'd give it a shot because I've never actually played. I just played flag football.
Right.
And I'd also.
There's softball, but they just for some reason won't pick us.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the shout out again. Put us on a dang team. I just want to drink beer and hit.
I have a glove, guys, and a hat.
Use it. It's like I don't know what it is. Like I'm not like the world's best athlete, but I'm just kind of like a natural. Me too. I've always been that guy. Like I've never been great at anything. I've always been, well, he's good enough to play. Yeah. He's not the last pick on the team.
But he's your 5th or 6th pick out of 10. I mean, he's serviceable.
I just want to play baseball. I bought a good glove specifically because we were moving to the States. I've been in the States for almost.
Oh, math again.
Yeah, I know. 8 years, almost 8 years now, and I can't find a baseball team.
We have a softball complex where several teams play.
Yeah, why is it so hard? I don't even see flyers up.
No.
Like we're gonna have to start our own team and just play
You
against.
know, there's a
ourselves.
bowling league too.
What? Why are we bowling in this bowling?
Oh,
league?
I'm a terrible. My wife's a good bowler.
Yeah, we don't have to be good.
That's true.
I want to be the team that like golf. I want to be on a golf team, and I just want to go out there and play golf. in
Oh,
a
but we're
league.
not good at golf.
Yeah, but be the team that everyone's like, oh god, it's the guys that just drink too much.
These guys are just fun to play because
Yeah.
they're fun.
They're like, I'm just, I gotta hit this ball, guys, but can I drop over here?
Right.
You haven't hit the ball yet. Yeah, but can I drop? Can I drop?
Like when I walked in the other day to get our stuff squared away, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's just you two. Go ahead."
Yeah.
We have a rep.
Well, I heard that there is one team in the league there that has a handicap around what ours would be. So I was like, oh, so you're saying we'd have a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance.
I could just see it. We'd both be up there. If we had to play against those, because I guess the two teams would go at one point.
Yeah.
We'd be looking at each other, being like, "Bring it on! Let's see what you got."
And another bonus for the hockey things for you guys, it sucks being stuck inside all winter long. If your kids say I'm bored, hockey's 3 days a week.
Oh yeah, and they'll get tired.
No, they don't. I thought that. I put Aurora in hockey when she was 4, and I'm like, this is going to wear her out. She had more energy when she was done playing.
Well, she needs me as a coach. I will suck the life out of them.
Oh, there were a couple of adult practices we ran last year that were pretty
Exactly, right.
rough, right? They're like, oh, this is like, I love it. The kids will go, this is easy. I know this drill, it's easy. Oh, really?
You try. My favorite thing to do with hockey, though, especially with adults, is I do it at the start of every year. I'm like, all right, we're going to do circles, but I'd like you guys to get to this point. And I put my hand on the ground to do the circle, and I just look at so many adults be like, what?
Trust. Skating is all trust. You
No.
just got to trust it.
I always think it's fun. And I'm like, guys, it's not that hard. Just then start skating around.
In this 9,000 degree heat that we're going through right now, I'm really missing the ice cold hockey.
Yeah, I
rink.
think that's why we're talking about it.
Right.
I'm talking.
And I'm not gonna lie, there have been days up at the hockey rink. You know when it's cold because you just have to look at the coaches. If the coaches are doing the drills with the kids, it's cold. Because if they don't move, they're probably frozen.
Well, I think we're gonna at least play this song before we go.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah, we'll get this going. It's Born in the USA. That would be.
There you go. The boss.
Yeah.
Ooh, 4th of July ice cream and beer, Mr. Knutson. You know TC Knutson, don't you?
TC,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do acting with him.
Yep.
Him and I did the best play that has ever been done.
TC is he's a wackadoodle guy. I like hanging out. He used to work with my wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were I think they were conductors together, I think. Yeah.
Well, we did 39 steps, and the director kind of disappeared.
We should get TC, you and your wife to play a live D&D game. You know why? He acts out his characters.
Yeah, I'm pretty would.
he's very
Larpy.
loquacious. He's very vocal when he plays. It's fun. Asmodeus, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'd be like that if
And
more people were.
What's really like I know his wife, and she is like, I think she comes from a ranching family.
Yeah, I think so. She's pretty nice.
Yeah, she's really nice. But you're like, you and her not seeing it. Like, where's the connection?
Maybe it's something we don't see.
Oh. Of course, the same could be said for our wives. Charisma.
I know why mine's with me.
Why?
It's for things that you can't see.
Ew. That's dirty.
Yeah, well, we'll see what this printer turns out to be like. I should get it on Wednesday.
That if you're gonna make characters in a snowstorm, that first one was the way to go.
Right? I was like, but the problem is there's the program I have to use for that one didn't have as much community support as the one that I'm getting.
For those of you who don't know, Barry attempted the 3D print, and he bought a 3D printer on Prime Days for $300, and found out why the printer was only $200.
Well, no, actually, so like the one I'm getting.
Actually, when I looked at the base looked fine. It was when it tried to do anything vertically, it was having issues.
Well, it printed the test print fine, and I printed some of the things that they sent with you to test it, and it printed it all fine. But the problem is when I wanted to get stuff with detail, you have to go in and change settings, and I don't know enough. There's like 500 settings.
Okay.
So I thought I could find stuff online, and I could, but they were for specific types of printers. And then so I eventually went with this one that had a crud, to the point that people said that if you use these settings, it looked like it was a resin printer. So it was extremely nice. And
Well, you just got to read more.
well, I'm going to use this because that program that you use with the one that I'm getting now has like over 3 million people using it with support.
There you go.
And there's a guy that I was following on YouTube that will hopefully make so I can do that.
YouTube can solve all your problems.
Yeah, it can.
Give us a like and a follow. No, wait. Never mind. We only have 2 viewers, and they probably already like us and follow us.
Yeah. Tell people.
Talk to someone, man.
God, get out of the house. COVID's over.
If you know somebody you really hate, just tag us and put it on their page so they can see us and hear us, and we'll just annoy the crap out of them. That's how we're gonna get known. You want to waste?
I wasn't born in the USA.
No, you were not. Oh man, 3 minutes. Ready for the war? 800 water balloons.
Oh, we're gonna win. You're gonna find out why.
Who's gonna win?
win?
Who's gonna win?
I'm gonna bean you in the face so many times. That's why I wore my glasses today.
You think I won't hit you in the face because you're wearing glasses?
No, I wore them so that when I get hit in the face, I can still see.
I'm gonna put my kids' goggles on. Oh, is it over?
Almost. Yeah, it's pretty much over.
Because this is Avid Rants.
All right. I was born in the USA, and I wasn't, but Derek was.
Yep.
I think.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. He was created here.
Well.
But yeah, so this was an interesting rant day.
Rant day.
We ranted a lot. Sometimes we were didn't know what to talk about, it seemed, and then all of a sudden we
That's every week, you know?
it's pretty average.
Way to plug it.
But don't forget, if you want to see our beautiful mugs and hear us use different type of language in between songs, we are on YouTube at Average Rants. You can also find us on Facebook.
Give us a like.
Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe. I don't know what that does, but people say do it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to find out what that does.
And if you'd like to guest appear, we would love to have a guest.
If you want to be on Average Rants, you have to be a subscriber, follower on our Facebook or YouTube, and then message us. Otherwise, we don't know.
Oh, yeah, we don't know yet.
But yeah, thank you for listening to Average Rants here at KNMC 90.1 FM here on the university campus.
Have a safe and happy 4th of July, because we are going to go get into a massive water balloon fight.
And I am hoping that if you are drinking a lot tonight, that you are safe on your ride home and that you don't work tomorrow so you can rest it up.
I do not work tomorrow, and I am thirsty.
Yes, we are going to hydrate.
No.
Kind of.
There's water and alcohol, but not much.
All right. Happy 4th of July.
Signing off.